Well, finding Parkups in the UK is turning out to be not so difficult after all. Now, I know, because of this van, we don't have any solar on top. The battery does sort of deplete quite quickly because we've got the compressor fridge, which is always on 12-volt electric. So we have to keep popping into sites where we can get electric hookup. So about once a week, I think, we need to go to a site to give everything a real big boost up. However, we went a couple of days ago to a site and plugged in, and what I found was the lithium battery I've got on at the moment has a Chinese battery management system, which seems to be a bit quirky. In that I can go and look at the battery state. What's it called? Xing or something. I don't know how to pronounce the Chinese name. But if I go and look at the battery state, and I'll show you it here, that's it. That's the sort of battery management thing. There's got 4 cells in it, and they're all around 3.3. So that's about 13.2, 13.3. Actually, it says at the top there 13.27 volts. But when we were driving to where we are now, it took us a couple of hours to drive from the site to here, and I thought, oh, that'll be great, because the battery charges off the engine at about 20 amps, so that should put at least 40 amps back into the battery and give us a good amount, but so when we got here, the battery management system, although the voltage was not quite at 14.2, which would be 100%. It said it was 100%, which is a bit weird. So I had a little bit of a tinker with the thing, and reset it and stuff like that. And it immediately went down to 20% from 100, and the voltage didn't change. So it's a little bit quirky. I never quite know where I am, and I haven't got any other proper battery monitoring systems on the van. But parking off-grid without a solar panel on top all the time can be a bit of a nonsense. But we do have power banks, so we're relying on those to charge up phones, cameras. So the 26% that we have currently isn't getting depleted, apart from the fridge. Now, I managed to put back in 5 or 6% by running the engine for a little bit, probably about 20 minutes. So it puts about 5% in. So that, and even if the fridge is using 5% a day, I've only got to run the engine for 20 minutes a day, and I can keep it topped up. And we've got the 240 volt out of the power banks that we can use. So we've actually got 2. One that I'm doing a real hard test on at the moment, so I can do a proper review. And the other one is the Bluetti, which we bought a while ago. So I'm using the Bluetti for 240 volt. And I'm using the All Power, which I'll be doing a review on, for 12 volt, which is actually, the performance I think is way better than the Bluetti at the moment. So I'm not going to do a compare and review. I'm just going to do a review of that. But it's actually brilliant because it's got the charging points, the wireless charging ports on the top, and it's got USB-C 100 amp or 100 watt charging ports on the front, as well as USB-A on the front as well, plus all the 4 3-pin 240 volt outlets. Brilliant thing. But I think we are able to sort of go off grid in that way for most of the time, booking into a campsite for one night, getting fully charged up, and sort of circulating around that way. So when I say fully charged up, what we do is we plug in the power banks to the 240 volt sockets and then get those fully back up to 100%. And then we've got loads of power. So I think the all power is like 1500 watts, like 100 amp hours. The Bluetti is 200 amp hours, and our onboard battery is 200 amp hours. So we've got loads of power if it's all fully charged up, and we're doing really well. And I'm really happy to say that I say we, that's the royal we, not Wendy, is is doing a really great job of finding us free Parkups. And we've got two that aren't, one's in Sussex, the other one's in Bristol, where we could stay indefinitely, pretty much, because people they just park up and they stay there indefinitely. But the whole area's kept like really nice, so it's a good thing. So we've got those two that are really easy, and we can use. We can go between those if we need to. Bristol and Sussex, they're a bit far away from each other, but that's okay, because driving too gives us a bit of a charge up on the battery in this van, so we're going to do that. And then of course shortly after we get Just William on the 1st of November, it won't be long after that, 6 weeks, until we go across on the tunnel again down to Portugal. So there we are. So that's what we're doing, how we're operating. One thing we are doing, we're looking, if regular viewers will know that I've mentioned this before, we're looking at ways of being able to stay in Europe longer than the 90-day Schengen visa. A lot more people are talking about getting Irish passport. I think I've got some great grandparents that are Irish, so missed out on the grandparent thing. But I did see that maybe with a bit of fancy footwork and maybe a bit of talking to the right people, we might be able to, or I might be able to get an Irish passport. Also, we're looking at how we can do a long-term stay visa in one of the European countries. There's a lot of good feeling about Portugal, and people have told me in France it's pretty easy to get a 1-year extended visa to stay. And all of this is based on non-lucrative, so self-supporting. You're not taking jobs, you're coming over there, spending your money, and you've got a passive income, which we do, pension. So we're looking at those, and we've actually got a discussion today with somebody that might be able to help us move that bit along, because I think it's better to have people that can talk the local language and know what the thing is, the little quirks about countries, and we're not in that yet. So, but who knows, we might have some more news on that next week, especially if we have good news today from the person we're speaking to. But anyway, that's it. That's a good bit of an update for you. stay tuned. It's not too long until we get Just William, and we'll give you a really good tour around Just William, show you how much extra space we've got. And not only that, I think what we'll do is we'll give you a good tour around the cuddle bus that we're in right now, so that you can do a compare and contrast, if you like. See how much space we've got now, see how much space we've got in the new van, and how much more comfortable I think we're going to be. Because even though we love the Carabus, we really do it, and it's probably the best van we've ever had in terms of quality. It really is great. It's just too small to be in full time, especially when you're in England on rainy days. Luckily this afternoon has been, you might see a little bit of sunshine coming through. It's really brightened up this afternoon, but it's been so wet and rainy, massive puddles outside the door. But there you go. Anyway, thanks for watching this far. Do give us a like, a thumbs up, and please, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. That helps us out a lot and tells us that we're doing the right stuff and we're getting more subscribers. Yeah, so, and if you haven't shared one of our videos with your friends who might like it, please do. I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.